Okay, we've got a few people waiting. I haven't admitted them yet. All right. I can't hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Cool.
There we go.
I said I feel like an old lady. My back hurts. My voice, I can't talk. Okay.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. That way we're small.
Exactly.
8 people waiting. Come on in.
I mean, I feel 25. I meant to correct my words. I'm supposed to be 25 again.
You're 25 inside.
25. I feel like I'm 25.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and admit everybody.
All right. Let's see who's on with us.
Hey, Nicolette. Good afternoon.
Hey there.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Hi, Nicolette.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Welcome guys. We'll get started in just a moment. Let's see.
I'm glad everybody else is casual too. It's funny, the days of suit coat and tie, which was just a couple months ago, is just not there right now.
Hey Dave, where are you located?
I'm up in the huge state of Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So bit of a temperature difference compared to you guys down there. So my brother lives down in that area.
Gotcha. Yeah, my whole family's up in New York, and it's been quite cold up there lately.
Well, we're originally from Massachusetts, so we don't like talking to you New Yorkers at all because of the Yankee, Red Sox, Patriots.
Gotcha.
But then again, you're probably not into sports so much, so you probably don't.
No, not really.
That's fine. My wife's the same way. She could care less about sports.
Yeah. You know, I know what I need to know, but I know I'm trying to learn more about sports, honestly. I mean, a lot of you guys talk sports, and I feel like it actually helps me in the business, you know?
Oh, it does. Yeah, just being able to talk with people. It's funny. There's always been a rivalry from New York to Boston, but whenever I go out and do business nowadays, if I meet with somebody and sign them up for a policy and, find out they're from New York, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I got to take that back. I can't sell to you. So even if it's just from the friendly terms of competitiveness, it's good to be involved in it. So.
Absolutely. So, okay, guys, thanks for hopping on today. So, Nicolette, everyone on this call, they've gotten the Getting Started guide. Is that right?
Probably not everybody.
Okay. Is that because maybe they're not done with contracting, I would assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So for everyone that's looking at this and maybe have not received it quite yet, this is what you're going to receive soon as you're done submitting contracting. If you guys have any contracting questions, please reach out. Here's the contact information for Nicolette and Mirka. Mirka is doing all contracting. Nicolette did it prior, so she definitely is able to answer questions after 4 o'clock. She does a lot of management, hiring, things like that for me as well. So this is the contact information. So if you guys don't have this packet yet and you need this contact information, maybe jot it down. If you have any issues with contracting questions when you're going through contracting at all, there's their email address and phone numbers. But, Some of you I've already talked to. For those that I haven't, welcome to the team. Very excited to have you guys on board. You know, I just wanted to hop on here today and kind of run through the getting started process so you guys know what to expect moving forward. And so we could also go through it, kind of break it down for you, and also answer any questions that you may have. So guys, and Nicolette, could you scroll down a little, please? So first thing, guys, you know, communication is very important to me, and FFL is growing. I know many of you have done research on Family First Life, and it's very exciting to see where the business is going and this opportunity for you guys. But, you know, the girls, myself, we stay insanely busy. I'm always on the phone. So please, if you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. It's not that we forget about you or anything like that at all. It's just simply, you know, initially we just need to build that relationship. Call us. We're here to help in any way that we can. So once you get done with contracting, like we said, you'll get this getting started list. Some of these applications listed, guys, I think most of you have added them. Marco Polo, WhatsApp. Now, if any of you don't have Facebook, I totally understand. I have Facebook probably because of the business. There's a lot of great training that's posted daily on Facebook. So the one thing I would encourage is, if you do have Facebook, is to look for, like, either add me. We have a FFL Coastal site on Facebook, but also please add FFL Southeast Facebook group. At 1 o'clock today, we posted a new agent training. Every single Monday at 1 o'clock, there's a different topic for you guys. Today was like activity, the mindset of the business. Last week we had in-home, but we have all these recordings saved, guys. So if you just let us know what you might want more training on, we have more than enough. So please communicate and let us know what we can help you with, and we could send more training your way. One thing I can't begin to emphasize even more, there is, you know, we're not at that yet. I'm probably jumping ahead, but there's weekly conference calls. And for those that are full-time, I do believe some of you may be part-time, and we could work out a schedule that makes sense to you. There's a couple training calls that I would really recommend you plug into your schedule every week. The one call that is my absolute favorite, I would like to say our team call is, but is the Next Level Live. It's a corporate call. It's every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Central or Standard Time. And literally it's the best of the best in the business. And it's sales training, and literally I'm on it every single Friday, taking notes, getting better each day. And for those that don't know me, I've been in the business 10 years. And I've made a lot of mistakes, and all I've ever done is duplicate all those that are successful, copy what they're doing. So believe me, Sean Mike has taken a big role in helping me with my business. I've learned a lot from him and a lot of the bigger organization VPs in FFL. So I encourage you to plug into a lot of these calls, because, you know, you guys are going to connect with different trainers in this company. Like, I know a lot of you have sales experience, but there's a lot of different sales trainers, and you're gonna have your favorites, and my favorite trainers may not be your favorites. So I encourage you to plug into the system. That's all I've ever done to get me where I am today. And a lot of my top guys are here to help you as well. I have a lot of managers that I will definitely share some of their contact info after you get rolling and things like that. But I would definitely plug that into your calendar. Now, a lot of you, as you go through contracting, I know I've been getting a lot of questions on leads. So I kind of just wanted to simplify what I recommend for different people getting started. Now, for a lot of you, maybe not being on the phone for a little bit, I recommend a cheap education. So typically, if you go into the CRM, which actually, let me back up, I apologize. After you are done with your contracting, you're going to let us know that you're done with your contracting. So first and foremost, you get this checklist, right? Then once you get to this section, you're going to reach out to the girls to get your CRM set up. What that is going to allow you to see different platforms within the FFL website where you can actually order leads, things like that. And there's actually a video. Is that correct, Nicolette? There's a video where you could actually, it takes you through the CRM and how you could purchase leads, but actually Nicolette brought it up. So once you're signed in, this is what it's gonna look like. And you're simply gonna go to purchase leads, go to mail. So I would write that down, Mail Pro cherry pick leads. I would strongly recommend that's where you would start, guys. And
That video you were talking about is on where it says order leads. It says watch this video. It's the latest one that we should put out.
Awesome. So right on the list that the girls send out to you, there'll be a video attached where you can actually get familiar with the CRM, and it kind of will walk you through certain steps. But this is what it looks like, guys.
Sometimes the map takes a while to populate.
Yeah.
But you can see the leads that are available.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I know you guys are all scattered, so definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I know there's several of you that are in South Carolina, and I'm able to send you some age leads. Now, I want to help you all. Obviously, I'm running a business, so what I pay attention to is action, guys. And I don't know if you were hired by another manager that was hired by me, but we all want to help you guys as much as we can to be successful, okay? And I don't know if some of you are familiar with Zoom. Some of you may have observed some of the live phone calls. Maybe some of you have not quite yet. Some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. But we have just like we're on Zoom right now, we have a platform where you could listen to the top guys, and then also you'll see a lot of new agents dialing, where I can listen to you, help you get better with your phone script. And my point being with all of this right here is, if you're willing to get on Zoom, get uncomfortable, allow myself and other managers to help you, don't be surprised if I'm gonna throw leads at you. I wanna help you guys. I wanna help you succeed, but I have to watch action. So if you're the type of person that does what they say they're gonna do, then I'm gonna do all I can to help you. You know, like I said, I'm running a business, so if someone's expecting leads who doesn't do what they say they're gonna do, I'm sure you understand that probably makes no sense, right? So, so that's with the leads. I would just recommend buying some, final expense, guys, is a super simple process that I could help you simplify. So I would recommend starting with some slightly aged final expense leads, because honestly, I would definitely, that's where I would start. And if you look here, there's some like 1 month, 2 month old leads. And the cool thing is, guys, like I've talked to a lot of agents at different companies that have come over from other organizations. And when they think of aged leads, they think of like 3-year-old leads. That's not the case here. We have leads that are just maybe a month old, 2 months old, and you could still get them for like $1, $3. And you know, if you guys are willing to get on Zoom and make some phone calls, then I'm going to be willing to get you some leads as well to help you get a quick start with us, okay? So just let me know what I can do to help you there. And for many of you, I might even have leads in your area, so please check. Reach out to me, shoot me a text, you know, let me know what area you're in, and if you're willing to get on Zoom, I'm willing to help and do whatever I can to make sure you have enough leads to get started. Let's see here. And then, Nicolette, can you scroll down a little bit?
Do you want to talk about like these lead vendors at all?
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, real quick. So then, honestly, when you guys are ready to get some exclusive leads, these leads are listed on the worksheet that you're going to get. So basically, let's see here. These are all exclusive, right? Now, you might think, why so many? It's good to kind of mix up who you purchase leads with, because certain lead vendors, agents have favorites. Now, if you guys add WhatsApp or actually Marco Polo, I encourage you to get on Marco Polo because I can connect you with some of my top guys. We could talk about, you know, the most popular leads. But right now, Game Time leads nationwide. So if you guys want to write that down, Game Time leads, a lot of people are having massive success with. They are able to produce the leads very quickly. So within a couple days, agents are getting the orders filled rather quick. But as you can see, you know, they start at like $20 a lead. So that's why I encourage you guys, and I want to help you, is, you know, maybe purchase some of the slightly aged leads. And, you know, depending on your situation, like I said, I want to help you all, but I have to help who, you know, who wants to
get busy.
they do the things that they say they're going to do. So if you're willing to get on the Zoom, you know, communicate with me how you can get better. I'm even willing to match you on a lead order that's with some of the new leads. But again, it's going to be based on action and communication. So if you're willing to do both, I'm willing to match you on some leads as well. Okay. And then here we get down to the training, guys. So you can go through, and when you get this in an email, it's going to open up a video. So literally, I would recommend, like a checklist, run through this and kind of go through, take notes, you know, because this is your business, right? What you put in, you're 100% going to get out of it. You know, I learned early on, if I treated it like a hobby, I was going to get paid like a hobby, right? So if you want to get paid, you know, treat it like a business, put time into preparing. I promise it'll be worth it.
Yeah, each one of these trainings is pretty much a different topic. So hopefully by the end of watching all of those, you should have a good general overview of the whole process and what you need to be doing for each particular stage.
Absolutely. And also, guys, it's also a list of the tools that you can print out so you can be successful. There's a dial tracker. Now, I really, really recommend that you guys use this. When I first started, this really opened my eyes to what my results were, like where I needed help. So the biggest thing is, I mean, if you're full-time, part-time, you know, one thing I had to learn was to be accountable to my activity. A lot of new agents come into this business and they are so beat up of the results they don't have when their activity is not really high and there's really not a lot of action there, if it makes sense. So like the person who, you know, sets 2 appointments and makes 20 dials, I can't help that person. You know, you're working less than that. You're treating it like a part-time hobby. But if you're willing to put in the work, you will get better. The more you do, the more results you're going to get. So I encourage you to use this dial tracker. It'll keep you accountable to what you're doing in this business. And if you could go back, okay. So honestly, guys, I mean, I know this is a lot. Getting started, I feel like it will make sense as you go through the checklist. You know, honestly, we have for the in-home, guys, after you set up your appointments, these are worksheets that all you have to do is fill them out in your appointment, okay? This is how you build value. We don't have a presentation. We're literally going in the home, you know, connecting with our client and literally filling out this worksheet. And this is going to build the why of what we can do for that family. I know many of you are probably like, well, how do I know which product to write? So for the first 30 days, guys, I really recommend just having the tools and resources you need, because we have an agent hotline that you can call with a client. Whether, now this is the thing though, only if you're with a client. I wouldn't use the phone number if you're just preparing for an appointment. Maybe talk to whoever hired you. If I'm that person, I could give you some advice as well. But also, guys, as you grow in this business, communicate with the carriers. Like, I came from another company prior to Family First Life and I had 0 support. So I learned the hard way. I communicated with the carriers, but we encourage you to do that too. Sales support they're paid to help you guys. Like they are sitting there waiting for phone calls to help you guys with product, They order supplies for you, things like that. So please, I encourage you to reach out to them. They can help you find more product training, things like that. But the agent hotline is where you're going to get to know what products. So I really encourage you. I mean, the agents who do the best make a mess. They go out there, they help families, they set appointments, they call the hotline, and they're helping families right away. But if you go through the checklist, you will feel prepared. I promise you that. Just put in the time to do so. The phone is 80% of this business, guys. You know, and it's so funny because people start asking me about in-home, and there's agents that don't make it. And you want to know the biggest reason that people don't make in this business is they don't master the phone. There's agents who never even get on the phone. So if you guys could just embrace the phone, we'll help you get better there. And I promise I'll help you with the products, what to write, things like that. Let's see. Wow, my vision is getting real good.
This call is really good to listen to before you start your dials. It kind of gets your mindset right. And if you want a little, like, just a little bit of like advice, or you want to see how it's done, definitely get on the Zoom dials. You can listen to the people who've been doing it a while. You're gonna hear their tone of voice, how they respond to objections and things like that. So get on there, even if you just want to listen at first. Definitely still do that though.
No, yes, good point, Nicolette. So the Zoom dialing, what I was talking about earlier, Mondays and Thursdays, guys. Mondays, Thursdays, 8 to probably 6-ish Eastern Standard Time. You could listen to people make phone calls live. You can hear their tone. You can hear what they're saying for objections. It's the best way to embrace getting good on the phone. Like even when we hang up, agents will be getting back on Zoom to make phone calls, okay? And I really encourage you to do that sooner than later if you're serious about, you know, excelling in this business and having a fast start. But
I have a question.
oh, sure.
Hi, Mark.
What's that? Find the link in WhatsApp for the Zoom dials. What do you mean by that? What group is that in?
So that the WhatsApp group is where we post things, and it'll be a link just like this.
Oh, they'll put in the link every Monday, Thursday? Or,
Yeah. If we
Okay.
don't, just send me a text message and I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so basically it has like a meeting ID number. So then if you go to Zoom and put the meeting ID number, literally it'll let you join that meeting. And you could join that meeting like, you know, without video, on mute as well. So just definitely pay attention if you're on mute as well, because I think some people didn't realize they were unmuted. I did that I was the person who did that like a couple weeks ago. It was hilarious. So make sure you're muted, but the code is in WhatsApp. And I encourage you guys, like in WhatsApp and Marco Polo, you could kind of stay in the loop what's going on. You see sales being made, how agents, what they're doing, what they're changing. And what's pretty cool in Marco Polo, guys, I would encourage you ask questions. There's a lot of new agents learning a lot quickly because they're asking questions on Marco Polo. And simply you could get my perspective, some of the guys' perspective. I have a lot of guys crushing it. And it's nice to get different perspective because we all have different personalities. So we all do different, you know, we handle things differently. So I would definitely encourage you to do that as well. But is that
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous at all with Marco Polo. Pretty much nobody liked it at first. I hated it at first.
we all did.
But you get used to it, so don't feel embarrassed. Ask whatever you want to.
No question is dumb. Like seriously, I've been there. Like I made a mess of this business. I was a mess in the beginning, okay? It's just I keep learning from my mistakes, but I'm still getting better each day. I'm on all the conference calls taking notes still because Family First Life, we're continuously innovating, and I feel like we have the best of the best here. So you guys have a lot of great people to learn from, that's for sure. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out anytime. But I did want to take this time to see what other questions we could answer for you guys. Like any questions about getting started, about the process, anything like that.
You're all muted. Let me unmute.
There you go. Any questions?
I have a question about that Marco Polo.
Sure.
I downloaded the app, but how do I find the first family group or the?
The group.
You know what? I'm going to put it in. Are you in the WhatsApp group?
Not yet. I'm in the Marco Polo right now, trying to figure that one out.
Okay. Well, Nicolette or myself, we can add you shortly.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I'm
great.
also going to post the link, guys, in WhatsApp. So if anybody else doesn't have the link or have Marco Polo, all you have to do is click on the link and it will automatically add you to the group.
Okay, great.
And then Marco Polo is another thing that we use it for. Like, say you guys want to send a top agent or myself like a private message, right? Say it's important, you want to explain it. Marco Polo is a great platform instead of text messaging, because you can actually explain the question and literally, you know, myself or an agent will get back to you. So if there's anyone that you feel you have questions for, or say it's midday and you don't want to call me, but believe me, you can call me, I'm here to help. But Marco Polo is a great, easy, efficient way to do it as well. And even Nicolette, like say you have a question for her, but it's not urgent, right?
Email me though.
Yeah, but Marco, you could, if you Marco Polo her, email her, say I sent you a, you know, Marco Polo, can you get to it when you can? And that's a great way you can communicate as well. But, there you
I have
go.
another. Great. I have another question about business cards. Do you guys have a template that we use, or are we on our own as far as our agency being an independent agent?
Send me an email and I'll send you back the logos. You can make your own template for a card. And I can shoot you a couple pictures of them if you really need some help. But Vistaprints usually, it's what we recommend. It's usually the cheapest and super easy to make a card.
Are we allowed to put the first family group on the card or use your? Okay, great.
Okay, guys, I posted that link in WhatsApp. If there's any others that want to be added to the Marco Polo group.
Mark, I just sent you an invite for the WhatsApp group.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so there's another thing that I do every day. If you guys ever have questions and like I'm on the phone most of the day, so I do a lot of the hiring. If you ever have questions, you can always hop on my Zoom, and the link for it's going to be in WhatsApp every day too. But just so you know, you can get on there and you can ask any questions you want. If it's something personal, I can always put everyone else in a waiting room and we can talk about it. So that's a great option for you as well. But I do that every day. So.
Yes. But any other questions, guys? And I know many of you probably are going to be waiting on your appointments. I definitely encourage you, you know, if it's been 5, 6, 7 business days, contact the carriers. You know, sometimes they have a writing number for you. Sometimes it's delayed. So I would encourage you to communicate with them. And then as soon as you get appointed, I would call them and make sure you order all your supplies. I encourage electronic applications because then there's less room for error, which that's why I love them. But just in case you don't have internet, different products, you might need a paper app. So I would make sure you get all that ordered as soon as possible.
Yeah. And so this might not be clear to everybody, but for each one of the carriers, you're going to set up a unique portal for that carrier. You're going to have a writing number that's unique to you for each carrier. That's how you're going to actually submit e-applications.
Good call. Thank you.
And anytime you call the carrier, they're going to want to know that number. So I definitely suggest make a note on your phone with all your writing numbers on there. And maybe even when you have the carrier numbers, put those in your phone and then put your writing number as well.
Yeah, because once you set up your portals, guys, that's where your pending business is going to be. That's where you're going to see your commissions. That's where you're going to see all the tools. So you're going to want access to that as soon as possible. And also, guys, I encourage you, it's on the checklist or on the list, but the calculators, many of you may have my electronic business card already, but I would definitely kind of play around with the calculators, know how to quote the different products, things like that. And I mean, when you call the carriers, just say, I'm with Family First Life. Can you please send me, you know, the brochures and applications that I would need that they write, and keep it at that.
And the, let's see.
I'm sorry. You said when we're getting ready to order applications, we can just call, or do we have to order those electronically?
Oh, no, you would actually call the carriers.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I was going through the website trying to pick out the applications and what we might need and put them into a cart.
You could do that too, but it's a matter of just figuring it out with each carrier. And if you're able to do so, then awesome. You could do that as well.
I got you.
For some, it just simplifies the process rather than going into the site, trying to figure it out. You know, sales support could help you as well.
Okay, great.
This agent field guide right here kind of talks about pretty much all of the main products you're going to write. So definitely check that out. There's a link to it right here, I believe. Oh, nope, it's the other one. Yeah, this one. So it goes through and tells you kind of which products to write and stuff. It's pretty concise.
And where's the hotline number, Nicolette?
Hotline number is right here.
Okay, it's there. And that's once you start running appointments. I encourage you to put that in your phone. It's tied to 10 of us. So when if you're with a client and you want advice on anything, like they have a policy you don't understand, you don't know what product to write. So the one thing I recommend, guys, is if you're calling for help with a client, make sure you have the inventory sheet filled out. You know every health challenge that person has. You have every medication they're taking, because that's the information that we need. And then most of the time, guys, like, we're going to help you get to the point where you know how to underwrite yourself. Because typically it's not that I know all this. I'm actually pulling out underwriting guides when I get phone calls.
So
Okay.
these are the guides that they go off of.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta share it this way. Can you see that now?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is basically the
definitely can't read it. I don't
Hmm? What?
I definitely can't see it, but that's okay. As long as they do.
And that's something you should definitely print out. There's one for final expense and one for mortgage protection.
And simply, guys, like, it would say insulin. You could look up like diabetes insulin, and it will tell you what companies that you should write. But the one thing I want to tell you to simplify in your mind, final expense applications or final expense appointments, they're the product or final expense policies, right? They're all knockout applications. So what that means is if you pull out the application based on the yeses and nos, it tells you what product, if they qualify or if they not. So that's another reason I encourage you to have some paper apps on you, because even for underwriting purposes, you could pull out an application, see if this is the one you want to go with to write the client. Because essentially when people are calling me, I am pulling out applications sometimes, just taking a look at the questions and seeing what might be the best fit. Because at the end of the day, guys, the only reason that you're typically going to go with one company versus another, we have our main carriers. We do a lot of Americo, Mutual of Omaha. Typically, we pivot to another company depending on if they don't qualify from a health standpoint. So that's why the need for different final expense companies, basically.
Like this is the Royal Neighbors app, for example. So you see how it says if they answered yes for any of these questions, they're not eligible for any coverage. That's what we mean by knockout questions.
Yeah. Simple as that. Any other questions, guys?
No? Well, thank you all for jumping on here today.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on. I mean, don't hesitate to reach out if you guys need anything at all, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks a lot.